something like goes over a man's house, right? And let's say that intentions have been clearly laid out in terms of, oh, the man is sexually interested in her, and then she goes over that man's house, and then bro makes a move on her, especially based on how she's carrying herself. First of all, let me say this for all the women that are possibly listening to this: do not go over to a man's house by yourself unless you are willing to sleep with him. It started off, it sounds like she's about to, give some people a piece of her mind. Let's go ahead and dive right in.
I'm just getting real fucking tired of y'all. I'm gonna be real for real. I am a woman and I don't bandwagon with everything women say. Because you got ill-intentioned women out here that think all men out here snatching women up, throwing them in basements, chaining them up because of what they wear. And what you wear is the principle. I can wear sheer clothes with my area showing. I can do what I want to in public. But when I'm going over somebody else's house, rules or regulations are made before I even come in that mother. So I'm gonna need all y'all. She do got a bit of a sailor's mouth, huh? But all right. I'm hearing what she's saying though. Let's keep it pushing before we, give an opinion. All women that's coming on my page to pipe down because y'all sound very ignorant, trying to bring up slavery and what white people do and programming. It ain't that deep. Y'all are the problem. And the reason why I say y'all are the problem is because instead of accepting the fact that all men are not ill-minded, you want to keep pushing the notion that because
when have they what happened? What happened for them to think that? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, what actually happened in this generation to think that all men are ill-minded? That's crazy generalization. Like, bro, imagine us saying some crazy shit like that. They're saying all women are hoes or some shit, or all women just have no worth. That's crazy, right? But ill-minded, all men are ill-minded. Nah, that's crazy. That's on the same level of saying like, nah.
Every man now that has sense are trying to protect themselves with questions, answers. They need to know things before you even approach them in privacy. Because you got women that's coming out in public trying to make a private situation an allegation.
Right.
And not every man out here is trying to do something to you in a harmful way.
Right.
And it's sad that men have
All right, let me try and decipher what she's saying. Let me try and read between the lines
lagging?
Because it seems where she voices her opinion. What I'm getting from this is that she is of the opinion that women need to be conscious of the way they carry themselves when they are going over a man's house. Now, to me, that's obvious. I don't see why that is such a hot take, but it really gets down to the root problem, right? Another symptom of this ridiculous feminist mindset that has proliferated throughout society. This idea,
I can't lie, COVID, when you deep it, COVID has literally ruined society. It's insane, bro. I remember how normal society was back then, bro. I would click on a nice girl's Instagram. I'll look at her bio. There's nothing there. Maybe she/her retete. But nowadays there's always a LinkedIn. And maybe if you click on that LinkedIn, when you click on that, like before, maybe they already had it. When you click on that before, there's nothing there. Maybe just Twitter. They don't post anything, nothing crazy on Twitter. Just a couple pics and shit, or like their website for like, I don't know, hair, beauty, some shit. Nowadays, bro, they got the whole OF Twitter, like normal Twitter, OF VIP, OF free, like what? That is, they're taking advantage of, like, there's no reason for them to like moan about them having power now. But they need to realize, chat, is women, they need to realize that we gave them that power, low-key. Like, these OF models that are getting all rich and famous, bro, we are literally, us sad men, because we're all, a lot of us are depressed and shit, are literally we are buying OF content. I don't know why you would, because you can literally get on Reddit for free, but...
that women should be able to walk through life unconsciously, how dressed and...
Yeah, I completely agree. Her whole take saying that you should watch what you're wearing when you go around some other man's house. They do. They think they own the world now. Like, it's crazy. These woke feminists. They think that they own the world. They think that they're above man. Like they will talk. I thought the feminist movement was about equality, not being above someone. You're literally trying to take our power away. Like, realistically, we'll never be equal. As simple as, because men are just we're different. We're literally two different genders. Like, yeah, you can't be the same. We cannot be the same.
Carrying themselves however they feel, and that if a man were to,
and they say shit recklessly for some reason, I don't know why, saying, oh, there's a wage gap, there's more than one gender, you should care about you should what's it called, facts over feelings. Like, shut up, man. Like, come on now. Well, they speak so recklessly now, and the thing is, they carry themselves like they're right when they're not. It's crazy.
I don't know, see them and behave a certain way that was inspired by the way they dress, right? Or to make certain assumptions about that woman based on the way she's carrying herself. It's all the man's fault. Also, if a woman portrays herself in a way that makes her more of a target for someone who would be a predator, that she bears no responsibility in the way that she's carrying herself. And also the fact that when a woman does something like goes over a man's house, right? And let's say that intentions have been clearly laid out in terms of, oh, the man is sexually interested in her, and then she goes over that man's house, and then bro makes a move on her, especially based on how she's carrying herself. First of all, let me say this for all the women that are possibly listening to this: do not go over to a man's house by yourself unless you are willing to sleep with him.
Hey, I know you want to watch that video, but don't press that skip button. Seriously, I'll show you how to save time and money.
Don't do it, whether you're Christian or not. Do not go over to a man's house by yourself unless, especially if y'all have been dating, especially if y'all been talking flirtatiously. Do not go over to a man's house by yourself if it is not your intention to sleep with him. Now, let me take it a step further. As a Christian, do not go over to a man's house that is not your husband. Ooh, how about that? That's how I feel. That's how I'm going to raise my daughter. I'm going to raise my daughter to not think that it's normal to just go over.
But you want her to be celibate.
To some boy's house that is not her husband. The Bible says that women are to go from the protection and cover of their fathers to the protection and the cover of their husband. You can go on dates. You can do all kinds of things, but do it in public areas. Or,
I see the point of that.
You know, again, if my daughter is living with me, I'm not going to encourage my daughter to go out into this wicked world and live by herself, right? I'm going to make sure my house is nice and big and comfortable, that she has her privacy and the security of living under the roof of her parents. And then once a suitable man comes along who wants her hand in marriage, they can go and have their own house and family together and all that, right? That's the way I plan to raise my daughters. That said, courtship can happen
I just don't
in
think that
public
works
places. Courtship can happen
how the world
under the
is now.
supervision of her parents.
You think she's gonna wait until marriage
to again? Nah, that man, also, and I keep feeling like I have to break things down even more of my mindset, because I believe in young marriages, right? I have no problem with my daughter getting married at 19, 20, 20.
Whoa. What? Come on now. You're not even gonna like allow her to live her life somewhat, bro. 19's crazy.
You feel me?
Crazy,
because I am confident I'm going to raise her properly under God's guidance, and I'm confident that,
bro, you can't like. This man generally thinks he's like.
I'll put her in environments where she's gonna find a good, wholesome Christian man who was also raised in a good, wholesome.
What about if she doesn't like turn out to be any of these things? Like maybe she doesn't want to be Christian. Like, what are you gonna do now? Are you gonna feel like you're a failure of a dad? Like you've done something wrong, and you clearly haven't. It's her choice.
Wholesome Christian home. You feel me? I know that sounds like impossible to most modern people because of the way how the world is wicked and, you know, people aren't being raised properly, but I believe it can be done because the Bible says it can be done.
The Bible says that the world was
and so that's it for me. Point blank period.
Okay, you think like that, bro.
With that said, I would implore no woman to go over to
you're basically gonna try you're gonna
to a man's house by themselves if it isn't your intention to sleep with that man. Again, I gave you the Christian point of view on it, but let me take it back to the worldly point of view. Even if you're not Christian, how it's still good advice for you. Well, I mean, if you plan to sleep with a man, then no harm, no foul, ain't nothing to really worry about, right? You going over his house by yourself. If you don't plan to sleep with a man and you go over to his house, especially at night, especially for like Netflix and chill sessions, especially if you're gonna get things like alcohol and maybe, you know, drugs like weed involved, what kind of message do you think you're sending? Drugs. You know, where do you think that he thinks that this is going to go? And then furthermore, to her point about women making private matters public via allegation because they put themselves in that position and now they may be trying to get attention off of it. Women have been trying to get attention with false allegations since biblical times, right? Since Joshua was accused of falsely raping a woman back in, you know, Old Testament times. Women have been doing this since the beginning of time. This ain't nothing brand new. Women been lying on men forever for attention and for sympathy. She makes a very good point. Let's say as a woman you decide to go over to a man's house who is interested in you sexually, which again I've advised against, right? Because it's unchristian. But let's say you do it anyway because he makes the natural assumption that you're interested in him sexually, and then he's a little persistent in the bedroom trying to, you know, get you to go along and, like, you know,
bro, even when you're out, bro, like even when you're out, you meet a girl and you say, "I'll come back. Do you want to come back to my place?" Like, what else do you think? And what you're just gonna speak? Just chill there. Come on now.
Become intimate. If you put your foot down and say, hey, wait a minute, stop, hold on, wait, I don't want to do this. Don't turn around and call bro a predator or a creep or say he was trying to take advantage of you. That was a private situation where there was clearly some miscommunication. I remember growing up and watching SVU or SVU with my mother, right? Law and Order Special Victims Unit, where it handled stories about instances of rape and, you know,
computer. Strange internet signature detected. What?
And, you know, other kinds of sexual assault, and that painted my mind of what true sexual assault looks like. It's violent. I mean, violent is the perfect word to describe it. And yes, violent doesn't always mean, you know, punching you in the face, but it's clear that the man is overpowering the woman and forcing her to comply. If a man is just being a little persistent because he believes that you are interested in him sexually, but he never physically tries to overpower you, you never outrightly say no or stop, and so he's, you know, misunderstanding, you know, where you stand. When you finally do just outrightly say, hey, stop, I'm uncomfortable, don't then turn around and then create this rumor that bro is a predator or bro was trying to do something crazy to you.
And then you wonder why most men are depressed and like committing suicide because of this. Literally because of this chap. Literally. Bro, they like you call someone pretty, they call you a weirdo. Like just like uncalled for shit, man. That just gets on men's mental. It makes him feel like they're worthless.
Because most likely, if he was, you would know. Most likely, if he was, he would physically hurt you. But a lot of dudes get in this situation. And this is why I implore you not to get into this situation at all by not inviting women over who you're not trying to marry. As I've said time and time again, when you take the Christian approach, whether you are a man or a woman, you get to avoid all of this drama. You know, if she's your wife, then you don't got...
I find it... Wait, was he Christian before he married his wife? Chat. Was he Christian before he married his wife?
Got nothing to worry about. If she's...
Because maybe he changed his view like... Actually, I remember him speaking about it. I think he said that he just turned Christian when he met his wife. No, his girlfriend.
Your wife, then...
and then
you know, there is no miscommunication at hand. So that's why I preach being Christian. But when you live your life in the way of the world and you try to lean onto your own understanding, that's how these misunderstandings can occur. Again, another perfect example to all of my people who like to criticize religion and Christianity in particular. I'm yet to come across a situation where living your life as a good Christian man or a good Christian woman doesn't reduce your problems in life or reduce the chances of you ending up in that situation. Circling back around to what Shorty's saying right here, you know, it really just all comes down to women needing to take responsibility of their own actions. You know, take accountability.
That's all they need to do, man. That's all they need to do, man. Or just for once in their life, Joe, just take responsibility. Take charge of yourself. Stop blaming other people. Stop blaming men for your trauma, for your like. It's just getting to the point where, like, I don't get why they don't take, like, why don't they just take it like under the chin? Like, why they have to blame men for, like, just because they can't fathom in their heads just the simplest thing that you wanted that to happen because of the way you came across, and then you question them, calling them predators, rat-a-tat, and then you don't take responsibility. Like, what?
Ability for the positions and situations you put yourself in, and realize, you know, what the intentions of men are when they invite you over their house. If you guys are dating or if you guys are being flirtatious, bro is not inviting you over to help him with his taxes. Bro is not inviting you over to play a game of Monopoly. I mean, maybe he likes Monopoly, but he also probably, you know, wants to get romantic and intimate with you. You know, I appreciate that, you know, this woman is putting her foot down and just being honest about something that a lot of women nowadays wish to be dishonest about. So, let's go.
To move like that. And it's sad that it's women out here that don't see that. Y'all always try to bring up all this bullshit. I don't care how many bad men it is out there in the world. All of them ain't bad. All of them don't even want you. Let's be real here. Half these women that's talking, the men that you talk about don't even want you. And I'm not being rude, because every man that walk in my path, I don't think he want me. That's ego talking for you. That's your mind thinking every man, because you got a nice shape, you're looking good, you feel like your skin, you smelling right. Just because you looking good and smelling good that day don't mean a man gonna even give you a glance.
Why I feel like I'm being spoken to by like a old Southern auntie from the 60s. I don't know. Besides the cussing, I don't know. I'm getting some like roots vibes, some like old Southern belle wisdom coming out of this young lady's mouth.
So get that out your head.
Never get a copyright claim again by using academic sound. Discover more than 35,000.
Just like if a man walk around looking good, smelling good, every woman ain't gonna think that he is top tier. It's just sad every time y'all trying to defend something that don't even be that. Yes, people get all the time. Nobody is saying that it don't happen. But when it's not happening, quit trying to put every man in that fucking position.
Right.
Not every man is out here trying to people.
Right.
That's sick.
In fact, most men aren't trying to do that to women. most men, I dare say 99.9% of men living in America aren't trying to do that to a woman.
Yeah, that's crazy.
For you to even think that. If
you have to be mentally ill to even do that.
Feel like every man is trying to do that to you, you need to go to therapy. Because not every man is doing that. Yes, you should always protect yourself as a woman, but not all men are out here to harm you or put you in a position like that. Learn how to appreciate that he is good out here. Yeah, do that.
Wow. Oh man, she's speaking with a lot of conviction here. But you know, for good reason, because we live in this world where women no longer need to take accountability. And you know, to be quite honest with you, I don't know if, you know, there ever was a time when actually there was back in you know,
especially when it comes to OF, man, bro, they don't take accountability to what effect that will have in their later life. Like, bro, it's crazy if they want to have a family. Like, bro, imagine their children, man, finding that shit on the internet. Their mum getting railed by some black dude. Yo, I would feel like, what the hell, bro? My mum has no morals. She's talking to me. She's saying, act like this. Treat your body like a temple, and she's there slanging it about like that. Like, what? Like,